Hi, welcome to Monday. Just another manic month. One of many songs that was written by our dear mysterious man in Platform's Prince. If you'd listen to it and compare it with other Prince songs, because they all have that same can't, it's YouTube, can't do it. But it's raining. I don't know if you could hear it. It's trickling nicely on the roof. But look at what I did. Look at that. I switched angles. I just keep switching things around. Either way, I only have my room to work within, so fuck you. So you know what that means? It means fuck you. I did watch some news today. I caught a press conference that the president did. He doesn't do them often, so when it happens, people pay attention. And I find it really hysterical because he cuts people off. It's a tactic. We're all well aware of it. I know people in my personal life who do it. And I know there's people out there who watch this, who know who those people are I talk about, because everyone knows. It's obvious. It's only the people who do these things that think that everyone else is blind to it, but everyone else is just really exhausted by it. But Trump does this thing where a reporter will get up and they'll ask a very important question, and he'll stop them right in the middle of it. And the first thing is you have to flip it around and make it on the person that is attacking you, because he thinks of everything as an attack. He's been doing it his whole life. It's how he sustained his business. So once he beams in on the fact that this is an attack, pivot, switch subjects, and start talking about something else completely different and defensive, all in one fell swoop, he makes it all about the person. It's basically, he's like, I'm not going to give you an answer, so why are you asking this question? But he goes about this routine, defends himself to what he assumes they're talking about before they even get to ask the question, and then asks them to sit down as if he's answered the question. It's brilliant. It's not brilliant. It's childish, and everyone sees it, but everyone complies to it. They just wilt. Okay. And then maybe look around at each other like,
are you getting what I'm getting?
And then he does this for each and every person that asks him questions, unless it's someone wise enough to be like,
hey there, Mr. President, how are you? My name is Keith Miller, and I'm from so-and-so with my bow tie. Love what you're doing with the numbers. By the way, I just want to ask you.
The man stands up with his bow tie. He gives the compliment to the president, and then asks the question. And then the president says,
what a lovely question.
He'll answer the question with a ridiculous jumble of sentences, and then, what a beautiful question. Yeah, be nice. See, can't you be nice? I don't think he has any idea that he needs to be held to the same standards as the presidents that have preceded him. All of them. He finds these as personal attacks. He takes all of this very personally, and that's why you don't go into public office when you have personal interests. It's just simply why you don't, cutie pie.
You don't do it, cutie pie.
I won't go there. I think the nation collectively laughed at that. What he does, he likes to shoot from the hip. Yeah, thanks for that, Mr. President. And everyone talks about it on the news like it's a political tactic. It's not a political tactic. It's just an illustration of his inability to perform the job.
That's what it is.
And why are we still wondering about the PPE protection? Why are we still worrying about these PPEs? I know why we're still worrying. As we all know, the PPE stands for and they need them. However, they're not getting them, and they keep getting promised that they're going to get them. But we keep wondering, where are they? Where are they? Why aren't they coming? Because they're not. They never were. I hate to say it, but they're just buying time, obviously, and this is rightfully so. It takes a very long time to do things like this, to put things into production and produce things on a mass scale and distribute them and make this a possibility, especially since half those products that we need to assemble those things come from a country that we can't get things from right now. So everything has to be done again in-house, which means they have to turn already existing factories that used to do other things like build Dixie cups and little windmills and trinkets and trackets and turn them into facilities that are now going to be making up to quality protective gear, masks, whatever they need to fight this effort, the same as they did during the wartime. Rosie the Riveter. Oh! Adult connect the dots. Talk about connecting the dots, huh? But back in a time when women had to go into the workplace in order to keep the country moving because men were at war, but then they also had all of the automobile manufacturers start building tanks, and there was a big mass recall of steel or anything that could be melted down, anything that was worth money, currency, coins, anything that could be melted down in order to go towards the war effort, i.e. making tanks, trucks, guns, bombs, all the booms. That's what happened. This needs to be applied in this situation, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to turn all of these different establishments into places that are now, instead of going to make bombs and they need to make That's great. That's all well and good. The only difference is we don't nearly have the same sort of establishment or people behind the wheel of the United States. We don't have the same sort of vim and verb, the greatest generation behind the wheel during something like this, that we're ready, prepared. We're ready to go. Not only that, this wasn't their first, they had the first war not too long, by the second time, but because they knew it was better to have a gun and not need it than to need a gun and not have it. Now, with a situation like this, I don't think they're going to be able to have the same turnout or efficiency or rate of success as we did in the past. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because the person behind the wagon wheel is a fucking dildo head. When I think of him, I feel like I'm looking at some sort of ape in a zoo that they put a diaper on to make him look cute, and is able to push buttons on the iPad to get little pellets of, monkey food. And I'm not even just saying that to be funny. Every time I watch the man, I feel like I'm being put upon, like someone's fucking with me. There are friends out there who know how I operate with that, and up to a certain degree, it's like, are you fucking with me? That's the only possible answer to this situation right now. You must be fucking with me. Donald Trump is not fucking with you. Oh. And why is Donald Trump making up claims? Things are being stolen or going missing, possibly stolen by medical personnel. Well, that's a tactic of people like Trump. And we could go into a sub-outline of people like Trump if you'd wish, but I think my previous things have illustrated just what kind of cocksucking motherfucking dildo head Trump is. So, yes, that is why someone makes a statement like that. Because instead of getting up and saying, you know what, it takes time to do this, and we're not as good at it as we used to be, so I need time. You have to give us time, hope, and your help, your confidence, because if the man had our confidence, things would move a lot faster. We're standing in the way of progress because we don't trust the motherfucker, and he's standing in the way of progress because he's a dumb dildo head fucking cocksucker. So instead of just saying that, he does what people like that do. He blamed it on somebody else, and not only somebody else, he goes for the biggest, the medical personnel themselves. That's the only way this game would work. You have to go there. We're wasting so much time talking about all this other baloney. That's how he's buying time. He's buying time the only way he knows how, the illegit way. Just be upfront and real and serious. The people don't give a fuck at this point. We need someone who's willing to do that. I do it with any small child. The first point of progress is to level with them, get down on their level, literally, and then level with them. Because people like that, ask them about them. That's what Donald Trump thrives off of. That's what gets him going. Why doesn't he realize that? Flip it, and instead of talking so much, start to listen. Which, of course, sounds completely ironic to somebody spouting off from their bedroom with a fucking ring light and an iPhone. But this is where we're at. He's the king of the soundbite. That's basically what it comes down to. You're dealing with the king of the soundbite. And that's also something else he's been doing his whole life. It's another reason you will see a press conference like the one you saw today, because it is full of lovely sound bites. Not one of them gives a damn bit of information, but every single one of them illustrates something else entirely separate from the point. You're listening to a madman. Deal with that. That's you. That's your shit. And I can't, it's our shit. Never mind. All yokes aside, it's our shit. That's the man. But I love it. Governors, senators, mayors, right down to the local level, right down to the goddamn lady at the church who organizes the fucking Bible group. People are taking things into their own hands. Luckily, you're seeing a lot of that. Mostly that's what you're seeing, and it's a wonderful thing because it does go to show that although there are people out there who we may not all agree politically, when it boils down to it, we're human beings, and that's how we are designed to function. So right down to the smallest level, people are overriding this idiot, allowing him to speak when he needs to speak, and then the officials that he has behind him come up and then translate what he's saying, and we get a briefing, and they keep us up to date, and it's great. The general news, of course, always over the top and sensationalized, but that's what they do. In between all of that, at least, you do get some facts. Where do you turn elsewhere? I don't know. It's a culmination of things. Laugh at the president, listen to the people behind him. Most importantly, listen to your gut, and listen to your heart. You will always be rightly guided by your heart, gut, and mind. Amongst other things. The point is, stay aware. Stay clear-headed. Yeah. Maybe after all of this nonsense and... Ooh! Huggies. Perfect for just a quick wipe down. There is a point at which I would like to take you around and show you my fucking miniatures. It'll drive you crazy. It's hysterical. It's a very good microscope into the brain of the person that you decided to listen to. And thank you again for literally coming along on this journey. Every video gets a little bit better. I get a little bit more excited. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.